Chat, here we go. We got Mawkzy. This is starting to become our classic matchup. Would you guys agree? Here on the Feer channel, Mawkzy is something we've done so many times. Wait a second. That is money being donated, is it not? I can't see my screen right now for the overlay because I'm in a new place. I have a little bit less monitor. The point is, I'll see what the donation was, or chat can spam what it was just now. I'm assuming it's adding to the price pool. $50. $50 Pog, unless Swerkson is lying. $50 donation. And chat, who from? From Flip. From Flip to Bit? That sounds right. That sounds like Flip to Bit. $50 for this best of 5. I'm going to make sure that these guys know right away. $50 prize. Thank you, Flip to Bit. Truly a homie in terms of donating to the 1v1 scene and specifically my stream. But as I was saying, we've had Mawkzy on so many different times, and we've watched them grow as players. They originally had their matchups in Next Gen. Next Gen, before they were both 15 years old. Of course, under 15 years old. Rw9 is now... Why am I watching this double from Mawkzy's perspective? But Rw9 is now 15. He's in the RLCS, and he stole this one. And he might have even gotten slightly bumped, but easy double for him to get his first. Now both of them are 15 years old. Rw9 has moved into the RLCS. As you guys know, if you caught me on the Rule 1 streams, you know that Rw9 has been playing well in their RLCS. Wasn't able to qualify for the major, but that's because they had the Falcons in front of them, and that's a very talented squad. We'll see if Mawkzy will ever find his way into the RLCS. I think he's not really put as much effort into it as some of the other youngsters coming up on the scene. He mostly cares about his 1v1. And hey, that means we're all winners. Rw9 right now is just attacking through the air, not something that we used to see him do when destroying people in ones. Maybe a bit used to the threes play style. I haven't seen Rw9 in too many 1v1 matches recently. I think the focus had been trying to make the major, which is totally understandable, but of course now not an option. Ooh, Mawkzy does get the read. All right, we had another donation. What was it? Let me tab out. Now it's 60, 10 more dollars. Thank you, thank you. Who dropped the tenner, chat? Do you know where Nupo is? As far as I'm aware, he probably still plays. I haven't seen him on too much, but he could be showing offline. Drally is the one who seems to be coming in and out, and I think Drally is legit out right now. But it's interesting. Drally, I feel like he came back and he worked on it for a few months, and he showed that he could still be the best. He was instantly up in the top. Like, we started trying to get him matches against the best of the best because he was showing that he could be there. And then it's almost like he said, yeah, okay, I did it. So now I'm going to take another break. I know that I can come back and I can get it all back, so I'm not too worried. And I'll wait till I can play in the RLCS. Nice little catch there from Mawkzy to keep his momentum after the demo forced him into a 180. Great flick. What a save from Rw9. And if that isn't this matchup perfectly encapsulated, then I don't know what is. A nasty flick, but an even better save from one of the better defenders. That being said, Mawkzy is going to be able to long shot it and get a 4th goal. Right now, Mawkzy is on a streak, not only in games, but I actually think consecutive games, because I want to say I've had Mawkzy on the past 3 show matches. He was able to get the 3-0 over Dark, then a 3-0 over Ness, and now he's going to be trying to get a 3-0 over Rw9, I'm sure. But tons of time left. 4-1. And I imagine might take a bit for Rule 1 Rw9 to get a little bit used to the 1v1 playstyle again. Don't know how much 1v1 ranked he's been playing either. Mawkzy trying to go for a pinch. He's been good with these pinches, and he got it in! Even Rw9 is going to throw the nice one. Who was hoping to intercept it before it rolled up the side wall. Oh, he went to try and go get a demo, and then he was behind the play. Oh my goodness, 139 km/h. Mawkzy wanted to make sure chat knew. In case you missed it, down below, that one was a screamer from Mawkzy. Mawkzy kickoff goal and gets saved off the post and out. Actually, pretty impressive save from Rw9 to get that out of danger's way, not just out of the net. I swear that the game, when you first downloaded it back in the day, automatically kept you on KPH, and I've just never moved it. There's either 2 scenarios. Back in the day, when you downloaded the game, it started KPH. Great shot by Mawkzy, 6-1. Or, because I watched so much Johnny, I might have switched it to KPH. That's possible, but I'm pretty sure it was already KPH, and I just never changed it. Mawkzy looking dominant in this game number 1. He's been looking dominant against just about everybody. This flick is saved, and Ross is going to save all 92 boost, or he's just decided that no reason to move with 5 gold deficit. But I actually think it's just his defensive plan because it works out perfectly. Maybe scratch the nose while you wait for Mawkzy to set up the aerial and then dunk it and get your second goal. KPH equals higher number, so better. True. That is very true. I just like KPH now, especially because I've gotten so used to it. So I know what fast and hard shots are in Rocket League and KPH, but in MPH, I'm like, I don't really know. Was that strong? Mawkzy, huge air dribble. This got Rawas's previous goal. And it seems like it's going to get him another one. Mawkzy might be letting Rawas back into this if he keeps putting on these weak aerial attempts. Rawas is not going to be letting you get away with that. Did Rawas play this weekend? Yes, he did. Change server next. Can do. 62. Yeah, I knew it was about 60 was 100. But 100 is way more pog of a number for sure than 60 is. Ooh, Rawas actually missed this save, but it wasn't in the first place, and then he recovers and gets the double jump save. Will he get this counter? He might be able to keep it above where Mawkzy can get to, and yeah, even though Mawkzy gets a touch, it still goes in. The server might not be great for Rawas, but he still stands a chance with 34 seconds left to go. How did Rule 1 place? They got second. Second in this regional behind Falcons, which unfortunately means second in the standings for the entire split. Mawkzy was thinking about pinch there, but did not get a good rolling up setup. Rawas is trying to be really passive on defense like he's been all series. He's not going to be able to get away with that with 20 seconds on the clock. He needs to be a bit more aggressive. He wants to try and take this first game, but it doesn't seem like he will, and Mawkzy will put on a 7th, so we'll be hopping to a different server for this next game. I'll make sure these guys know that it's $60, and I'll also make sure that I can see that from now on. Don't have to keep asking you guys. Mawkzy's going to make it 8-4. He wants to continue to run it up. These guys have always had a bit of a rivalry. I think Mawkzy tends to create rivalries a bit with the players he plays frequently, but doesn't change the fact that these guys have one. Game number 1 going to Mawkzy. We'll find another server as we head to game 2. Game number 2. Rawas and Mawkzy. Mawkzy really dominated all the way through. Rawas got a few goals off of some ambitious scoring attempts from Mawkzy. But will he continue to put on as ambitious of attempts when the score line is 0-0? It's yet to be seen. Mawkzy's trying to dive in here. Doesn't get the ball, but does get Rawas. Gives him time to collect it. Trying to dribble so fast, cut infield. Maybe he expected Rawas to early challenge him up the side wall or something. Either way, he's still in control of the ball. Rawas in and out of the net. Makes a save perfectly. And now if he can get back to the ball before Mawkzy gets there, he does have an open net. He will. Rawas 1-0. Every sort of save imaginable he's capable of. This time he decides using the net is the best method to get this one. Rawas trying to punish. I believe Mawkzy dove to grab boost, and Rawas unable to steal the 100 in Mawkzy's corner. So when will he challenge? Turns out he's able to read the Mawkzy fake, who was trying to threaten a shot to the far post, or the near post, I guess, for Rawas, but never came, and Rawas was able to make that read. Now a quick volley. Chip up to himself. Rawas maybe expecting it to come off the bounce. $1-0. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, I'll update that. I can't remember if I'm in full screen or not. So I'll wait until a goal just in case I am, which will give you guys a loss of video for a second. All right, I think Rw9 is going to get this one for free, but will he stop it on the goal line? He is going to stop it on the goal line. You see the camera check to see if Mawkzy's coming back. Oh, no, he let it roll. 2-1. All right, I'll update the scoreboard. Turns out I was not on full screen, so you guys didn't lose anything. Rw9, can he find the top left? No. Post instead. Mawkzy going to start his dribble with 0 boost. This flick soft, and you can see Rw9 trying to save it as late as possible. You'll see a ton of other defenders in that scenario jump up earlier, panic, because they really want to make the save, and they're worried maybe they're going to get bumped or something by Mawkzy, who's creeping in. But Rw9 plays it perfectly. Knows exactly when he can and can't get away with waiting longer. And the end result is a goal himself. You know, he long since stopped worrying about whether or not Mawkzy would score. It wasn't about that. It was about how can he make sure he scores from this position. And he was able to do just that. Now Mawkzy flicked to the top left. I mean, is this not Mawkzy's signature? He loves his turn right, flick left. I almost feel like Rw9 should just prep and expect the top left corner. From Mawkzy's perspective, I guess from Rw9's maybe top right. But I'm sure if you looked at all of Mawkzy's flick attempts, like a heat map of where they go, they have to be majority top left. Even when he's shooting top right, it's usually because he's on the left side of the field and he does that same kind of flick, but he just aims it at a different part of the net. But if he's square, the only place he can shoot it, that flick when he's square, is going to be top left. So Rw9 should be expecting that at least slightly. Force Mawkzy to be uncomfortable and score his unpreferred flick angle. This demo will get him a third. Right at the halfway mark, Rw9's lead has vanished. Mawkzy with a kickoff win. Rw9 coming to challenge early, which he did previously as well. Mawkzy, hard to justify that big whiff in the corner, but then Rw9 does the same thing. Except maybe Rw9 just trying to bait him in, cut him off here, and beat him in the race to the corner boost, but he has a Mawkzy chasing behind him. He can't stay in control of the ball long enough. Mawkzy has an air dribble now. Decent setup. Rw9 notices a first touch that creates a window for him to challenge. If Mawkzy first touches with the reset, I think Rw9 stays down because he knows Mawkzy could surprise him at any moment. But because Mawkzy decided not to, Rw9 recognized that he could come in and challenge with much less risk. 3-3, Mawkzy looking to try and win a couple 50s to get control of this ball. The long shot at 0 boost. I was going to say, Mawkzy doesn't have much. He's trying to get Rw9 to back off to see what he could do. Oh, he actually had 40 left over. He had exactly what he needed after he picked up that pad right before driving up the wall. Now has the lead again. Rw9 could afford to catch a break on the kickoff. Might be able to get this right back to net in time. Yeah, he is going to kill it. And then power shot at bottom left. Great play. He noticed how high Mawkzy went on this touch. 0 boost. Did not get it far enough out of the play. That was probably going to have to go all the way past the midfield line if he wanted to prevent it from being scoreable. And instead of taking it to a wall to air dribble, instead of taking his sweet time, Rw9 knows it's worth it to drop the ball and have his car fly past it such that the ball is sitting there for the power shot when he gets back. That is the fastest way to get it to net. Rw9, a decent challenge as he tries to hold on to a good amount of boost. Going up the side wall is going to make for a late recovery on defense. Mawkzy bounces it right into the top shelf. And I think Rw9 might have even fallen off of the side wall here right as he went to the post, which makes it even harder to make the right play. But I think the big problem was he forced his recovery so late. He went, you know, a third of the way up the wall before turning around and coming back down, which means he has to speed back to net and maybe isn't able to get the kind of positioning he would like. Now, this is just a big mistake. I mean, Rw9 may be frustrated as Mawkzy able to take the lead with under a minute. Rw9 felt like he needed something, but I tell you what he did not need, and that is slamming the ball off the back wall and letting Mawkzy have the freest net of the entire match so far. Mawkzy, will he go full field dribble? He's got 44 seconds. He could have tried to force Rw9 to come in and challenge him, but instead he's just going to give Rw9 a goal, which is something that he did in game 1 as well. I like that he's feeling confident, that he's not wanting to relinquish any sort of offensive attack just because he has a lead, but he does need to be careful in the long term. Rw9 is more than capable of taking this series, and this match very well could be out of reach if he had just not gone for that previous aerial. Now Rw9 trying to 50 into the net, can't do it. 20 seconds for him to regain possession and find some offense, and this time Mawkzy's going to play it much smarter. He's going to play a bit of keep away. He says make the mistake once but not twice. But Rw9 was ready for the cheeky power shot that was supposed to be over the top of him, but it was not. Now Rw9's carry, dribble, reset, hit to the ground. Actually hit to the ground before 0 seconds. So it did get one more bounce, but it will be 2-0 Mawkzy, who refuses to lose here in 1v1 as of late. The only blemish on Mawkzy's record in recent memory that I can think of is a show match against Toxic on Johnny's channel in which Mawkzy did not win a single game. But since then, I cannot think of a loss. And if you go back before that match too, I think he was looking really good, because I know everybody was listing him as potentially the best player in the world in ones. So Mawkzy trying to show that one match was just that, only one, that his dominance will continue. He'll have another opportunity to do so in the fall 5K. That'll be coming up next week. Can he prove that he's the best there? Hopefully there'll be incredibly tough competition, but Mawkzy has already indicated his interest in playing, so we'll see him there. Hopefully, wait, what? Did Rw9 challenge that? Was Rw9 behind the ball? That's the only thing that makes sense. Okay, that's the only thing that makes sense. I don't understand how that moved, but it's because Rw9 must have challenged him, right? What was that? You think he lost against Appjack on Johnny's channel? Oh, is that right? Jack, can you guys confirm that? By the way, Jinja RL, thank you for the 5 months. Thank you for all you do for the 1v1 community. Hey, I have fun doing it. We all benefit. Are the Middle Eastern players allowed in the tourney? Yes, they can. They can play in the EU tourneys. Whenever I say North America and EU, almost always I am just saying the servers that they're playing on. And the only time I'd ever not include the Middle East, or not include SAM if they want to play on US East, is if I was going to give them their own tournament. You know, if I was like, okay, you can't play in the EU one because there's a Middle East one, or you can't play in the NA one because there's a SAM one and you have to play in the SAM one. That'd be the only time that I would disallow those players from playing in the games. Of course, they just have to take the deficit of playing the whole series on the away server, which the Middle East players has proven is not really a big deal to them, whereas in SAM, you know, that is kind of a big deal. Even though KV1 does it, he's a bit special. It's really hard to play on 140 ping. Rw9 got a demo, and he actually shot too high. He needed the power. He didn't have any boost to get speed, so he had to use all the speed from the bounce, which meant there was a good chance that it was going to bounce up too high. Basil, thank you for the Prime. 4 months of Prime. Appreciate it. Hope I got your name right. I feel like I go back and forth between getting it right and then getting it wrong again. But thank you, 4 months. Appreciate that. Oh, nice catch. Rw9 able to surprise Mawkzy in the corner, who felt like he could shadow, maybe turn and challenge. That's because he didn't realize Rw9's wave dash catch was going to take the ball so quickly out to midfield. Easily the lowest scoring game so far in this match. And defensive bouts, I would say, often favor Rw9. Rw9 now 44 boost. Not really a great setup for any sort of aerial attack, so he's not going to take it. But the problem is his ground attack was maybe even worse than anything he could have found in the air, as he had to panic to recover and prevent Mawkzy from just getting an easy goal. Mawkzy right now handing underneath the ball. Thought he was going to go high, and Rw9 pre-jumped to stop the high shot, was still able to cover the low, and even that stopped the follow-up as well. That was truly an insane defensive effort from Rw9. The problem is it didn't keep Mawkzy out forever. He was able to stay in control of the ball, and then Rw9 has to come flying out of the corner to get the 50, which means his car moves into the other corner after connecting with the ball. 2-2. Rw9 looking to try and gain control of this kickoff, and Mawkzy is not able to bring it back to his orange corner like he wanted to. Well, it goes there, it just doesn't go there in his possession. Now Rw9, once again, he has been making a habit of punishing Mawkzy as he goes to grab boost. Normally, he's doing it with a power shot, and he preps for the power shot here if it could have been there. He recognized it wasn't, but now you have Mawkzy full speed returning to try and shadow, which is not the spot that Mawkzy wants to be in. And a couple fakes from Rw9. He's able to dice him up before slotting it bottom right. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy. Great recovery from Rw9 not to lose speed. He'll have a chance on this save because of it. And Mawkzy, he has been giving away at least one, maybe even two a game of these air dribble attempts. This time he's giving it away while behind. I mean, before it felt like maybe he was feeling comfortable enough to run it even though he probably shouldn't. Now he maybe has to in his mind if he wants to find a way to get past Rw9. And oh my goodness, this is not what you want to see if you're a Mawkzy fan. Want to see why he missed this one. Tried to go wave dash. Actually got on the real far right side of the ball. Oh, he expected a Rw9. It was a fake. He thought Rw9 was going to doink it. So he pre-jumped the doink, and then it just slow rolls in. It looked more clearly like a fake from Mawkzy's perspective. Rw9 just trying to bump Mawkzy here, and he actually might have gone a bit too all in. This should actually be a really easy read. It's a good thing Mawkzy missed. You either want to get it inside the post or you want to miss it by a good amount. That way the bounce is super easy to read, which in this case it was for Mawkzy. It's so much tougher if you hit post and you have to try and read where the bounce is coming off to. Rw9 has not gone wave dash kickoff at all. This time it's not going to matter. He just wins one despite Mawkzy using his wave dash. Did Mawkzy maybe not prioritize correctly here? Oh yeah, he went to the midfield boost. He recognized, wait, I'm getting scored on. He could have used his wave dash to move towards the ball and cleared it into the corner. Maybe even gotten control. But he was so set on getting the 100 boost. Rw9 is just dominating these direct kickoffs. My goodness. It's going to be hard to win a game when Rw9 is doing this to you. He just gets goal side, standard. Mawkzy looked like he tried to push it through the diagonal. And that's not going to work. Not with how fast Rw9 is. Yo, Wahlberger, thank you for the 13 months, 12-month streak of Tier 1. Thank you so much. It's been too long. Truly it has. But it's great to have you here for as long as you've been. Wow, Mawkzy missing off the post. Rw9 is a daunting player to have to try and come back against, and I don't think it's going to happen. Not the way Mawkzy's playing right now. I jinxed him. He'd been playing so well. I started talking about how well he's been playing. And that has opened up the floodgates for Rw9. Yeah, when 7 Voltic is here, he is able to understand Arabic, so we can let Arabic slide, especially when an Arabic player is playing. Although, I do think... in general, we try and go English only so the whole chat can understand what's going on. And we can never be sure if 7 Voltic is here or not. Rw9 putting on a clip. Oh, what a save. Actually, a nasty save. Both these guys are aware that this game is over, though. Neither of them are really trying too hard as it winds down. Mawkzy is one of the best regainers. He's winning the next game easily. Mawkzy gave the controller to his little brother. I'm not sure that's the case. Does he get 10? I'm not sure if he's trying to get 10. Looks like he is. I don't think that's in, though. Yeah, it's off. No 10 unless he can keep this up. 9-3. Dominant performance comes off the back of just solid standard kickoffs. Nothing crazy from Rw9 on the kickoff. Just goal side, center mass, crush it into the net every time. And he'll get his first game. Probably today. Game number 4. Mawkzy and Rw9. Rw9 able to combine his defense with immaculate kickoffs in the process of his Game 3 win. But Mawkzy, regarded by his peers as one of the best in the kickoff game, so can't imagine Rw9 will be able to keep this edge much longer. If he is, an impressive performance, and certainly will be leading to a win. There's no way you can lose as many kickoffs as Mawkzy did in that last game and still win a game. Rw9, long shot, no boost. Nothing better in that position than to long shot and steal the corner. So now he's got Mawkzy playing on only a couple pads. The problem is Moxie's got a really strong flick even with just a couple pads. It's a great save off the post. Rw9 always finds a way to work magic on the goal line. Trying to keep possession here as he taps this into his corner. Moxie's going to chase him down. Now he's got himself his dribble, trying to flick top right. Rw9 sends it too high again. Oh, Mawkzy didn't pick up the boost and didn't bump the ball or Rw9, so it'll be an easy power shot for the first goal of the game. Has anyone done the donkey dash? I saw that. Who was it? Apparently Jack called it the donkey dash. Is that a thing that... Has anyone ever called it that other than that tweet? It's quite the name. Rw9. Bottom right, no dice. Mawkzy, weak flick. Rw9 already pre-jumped it. Another power shot from Rw9. This is something that he has been doing a lot. I actually remember now that when Rw9 was playing his ones games, he made this change probably like a few matches ago, which of course now it's a few months as well. But instead of these air dribbles, he just booms power shots. He just launches it to the back wall, and then he just works off that, which is something that almost nobody does in the 1v1 game right now. They're either taking dribbles towards net, or they're going up into air dribbles like this. Not often are they just launching it as hard as they can and then going from there. But that is definitely something that Rw9 has preferred. 2-0. This flick is faked, and Rw9 has everything covered. Strong flick, fake flick. But I also feel like he started to prep for that post, like I was talking about before. And anytime Mawkzy has a dribble straight on net, he's looking for that post. And I think Rw9 is there, angled at it, knowing that's where the save needs to be made, and just going to make it really hard for Mawkzy to score when that's the case. By the way, Grayson, thank you for the tier 1 for 7 months. A lot of great matchups lately. Good stuff, Feer. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jack said on his stream he's trying to rile people up to farm interactions by naming it himself. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected. I didn't even see the stream. I knew when he called it the donkey dash that was... that had to be the case. Rw9, another save, another counter, and another goal. 3-1. When are you going to see me play? I did a Twitch Rivals not long ago. That was a time that I played on stream. I think we even put it on the YouTube. Rw9, strong touch. Going to take away a lot of his angle. Not going to prevent him from trying to find it either way. Mawkzy able to boom it out to the midfield. Didn't pick up the corner boost. I think that's actually a big mistake. Now he's recovering late. Rw9 has done a good job of getting Mawkzy to miss on these scoring attempts, but he's always been putting it a bit too high. Partial credit to Mawkzy getting great coverage of the net and making Rw9 try and slot it perfectly, but also I think it's just a bit of Rw9 mistakes. Another great save as he's able to read the reset of Mawkzy. Wants to put Mawkzy right back in net right away. Rush this ball there, and this time a very slight touch is all it takes. Mawkzy once again creeping out to the corner. Didn't think he had to worry about a shot attempt here. But Rw9 has the ball graze off the side of his car and rolls it toward the net for a fourth. Wall dashes from Rw9. Doesn't want to use any of the 100 boost he just grabbed. The process of chasing down the ball. Now Mawkzy, you know he's looking top left. He has been this whole time, and yet Rw9, maybe aware of the fact that Mawkzy could be frustrated and starting to fake, has still been able to cover everything. But the benefit for Mawkzy of going for a low 50 instead of that hard flick means it's going to be way easier for him to control the ball afterwards and potentially score on the second attempt. Whereas if he's launching booming flicks that Rw9 gets to save in stride, that'll end the possession almost every time. Mawkzy again. Rw9 is going to let him get to the goal line. He tried to punish him now with a flick after a few different fakes in a row, and he just missed it. And this is, you know, credit to Rw9, like I talked about before on the other side of the field. Rw9 was missing. Got to give some credit to Mawkzy. But same thing here. Bit of a mistake from Mawkzy, but you have to give the nod to Rw9, who's covered the net so well. And Mawkzy feels like if he doesn't slot it post and in, then there's no way it's going in, which means he's likely to miss. 40 seconds that Rw9 needs to hold on to his lead. This side flip will get saved, and there's a very high chance a power shot could be made, so Rw9 has to retreat all the way to net. Now Mawkzy's low 50, and he followed it up with a goal like he was able to do on his previous offensive attempt. He doesn't have a ton left over, and Rw9 has saved everything. Might have been a bit better if Rw9 could find a way to get that challenge without his wheels on the ball, but 10 seconds left to go. Mawkzy wants a pinch. He has become very accurate with these. I think that would have been a goal if Rw9 wasn't there. But he was prepped for it, so it is going to be Game 5. How does this always go Game 5? Rw9 Mawkzy. Doesn't matter how good one player's looking in the first two games. You know you're getting Game 5 if you're running a Rw9 Mawkzy matchup. Game number 5. Rw9 and Mawkzy. Rw9 wants the reverse sweep. Mawkzy wants to show that he is the best player in 1v1 right now, with very few who can challenge him. But he would certainly have to stop Rw9 here to make that the case. Rw9, nice save attempt out of the inside of the net, forces Mawkzy to shoot higher than he would have liked. Rw9 not going wall to air dribble. We've seen so many different 1v1 players that just love the aerial gameplay nowadays. It's almost expected when you see someone gain a dribble and they're headed toward the side wall to take it all the way up, but you know, that's never really been the case for Rw9 in his 1v1. You watch Rw9 in his 2v2 and his 3v3 gameplay, and you know he's more than capable of making plays happen through the air. But he is not of the opinion that that's the best way to attack in 1v1. So you'll see him cut in field all day long. Mawkzy, backflip flick to get over the top of the early challenge. And the lead just after the first minute will go to Mawkzy. This reminds me of the next gen reverse sweep. Yeah, I think the grand final involved Rw9 reverse sweeping in the first one. I think he actually won the next one by a bit more, like 3-1. Mawkzy's just trying to fake every different cut before realizing that he didn't really have a shot anyways, so he's just going to take it to the corner. Rw9 with 15 boost. Looking to see if he can just 50 it in, and he will. Mawkzy just lets him. Rw9 could have flicked. You know, he seemed like he was trying to carry the ball, and that's why you see Mawkzy shadowing instead of coming to challenge him. And by the time he realizes that Rw9 has no intention of doing anything crazy with the ball, it's too late. Mawkzy's already driven himself too deep into the net and has to try and make a 50 save attempt in reverse. Even though Rw9 has no boost to work with, he's not going to need it to make that save. Oh my goodness, Mawkzy crossbar and out. Rw9 now, he has the bottom left open. Yeah, I'm not sure what took him so long. Mawkzy had the window given to him as he tries to pick up a few pads. He thought about boosting. Oh wait, I was going to say, did he recognize that that was a mistake? He did not. He just went all the way to the corner and said, I bet Rw9 can't hit bottom left. No way. Well, you bet wrong. Rw9 got at least one game win purely off of his crisp standard kickoff. Hasn't been able to get anything from that yet in this game, but was probably as close as he's been on that previous attempt. Now Rw9 in the air. What is he going to do? He's going to immediately take it to the ground. Not going to try an air dribble. Just wants to get his ground dribble going, and he's had to use all of his boosts in an attempt to keep Mawkzy at bay. It's going to work out as he grabs the midfield, and the net is wide open once again as Mawkzy swings around to the corner and lets Rw9 have a free power shot. Mawkzy, little chip over the top of the early challenge. Recognized Rw9 off the kickoff. Was going to make a play on the ball. Rw9 now in control. Half the game left to go. Trying to slot top left. Not going to be able to do so. Mawkzy, we haven't seen the air dribble up yet today. Maybe that's because he knows Rw9 is so good at defending it. I don't think there's anybody I can think of who can rival Rw9 in air dribble bump defense. I think I would have to give him the crown. I'm going back and forth on whether or not we should have an Arabic plus English chat. I definitely wanted it for sure when we had Rule 1, because I felt like Rule 1, you know, if you're watching Middle East RLCS, you're doing a team stream, you gotta allow Arabic. But I think it might be too hard to ask a single mod to always be here and always be ready. So for now, we'll continue the current strategy, which is 7 Voltic is here, so we will allow Arabic. But I'm thinking in the future, unless we do some more Middle East team streams, we might go back to just English only. We do have an Arabic mod. An Arabic mod is here right now. This is a great flick. Rw9 has been able to stop these top left flicks all series long. Mawkzy finally slots one. 105 km per hour. Rw9 actually turned near post. He was expecting maybe something else to come out. Oh, whoops. Pressed the wrong button here. Look at this angle. Look at this camera work from me. Totally accidental, but all part of the plan. All right, one sec. There we go. The advanced camera work being added to the show matches. How'd you guys like it? Definitely wasn't just because I pressed the wrong button. Minute left to go. Mawkzy slow rolling this right behind Rw9's car, who never felt like he could backflip and challenge. You can see him snaking around, looking for an angle that isn't there. Minute left to go. Mawkzy with the lead. Rw9 needs to stay aggressive on this kickoff. Has no choice to play defensively, and Mawkzy gets a terrible 50 here. I mean, I don't want to take credit from Rw9, but I want to watch this from Mawkzy's perspective. I think he had... Oh, yeah, he just jumped out past the corner. It was really hard, don't get me wrong. But I do think it comes down to Mawkzy never really standing a chance of touching that one. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy. Rw9 is going to try and pop it up high over the top of him, see if he can keep it out of his reach until he can get this corner boost, which he does. Mawkzy's so good at these flicks. Probably just wants to power it. See if he can get Rw9 in a defensive sequence, but Rw9 able to single jump over the top of the Mawkzy bump, steal the corner boost, and put himself back on offense. A crucial play here in the final moments. Mawkzy's on the wrong side of the ball here, but the demo might have just secured the game. 20 seconds, and Mawkzy's not going to give you a free air dribble in which he lets a counterattack go in for free. Not with everything on the line and no time left on the clock. He is going to play much safer. Rw9 forced to make an awkward save. Only 23 boosts. He's going to use it right away. Mawkzy looking to clear to his back wall. It will be in the air, but it's going to be so hard for Rw9 to get this read, especially with only 12 boosts. And he can't do it. Mawkzy hits it to the ground, secures the series, prevents the reverse sweep from Rw9, and walks away $60 richer than he was before the start of the series.